Hi everyone. I'm going to show how to build a skill in Claude. A skill is a way to give Claude reusable, specialized instructions so it can consistently handle complex tasks the right way every time. And I am going to be using Fabric as an example. So I'm right now in my VS Code, and I have opened a workspace which has a directory called Claude, and under which it has a directory called Fabric, and I have Claude plugin installed on VS Code, so I was able to launch it, and right now it is in here. So I'm now going to give it a prompt to, as you can see in this, under this Fabric directory, there are two directories present. One is the Jupyter examples, and another is the Fabric testbed extensions. Fabric testbed extensions is the API code for Fabric API, which anybody would use to create experiments on Fabric. And Jupyter examples is the examples we have published for using this API. We have a wide range of examples, and I'm going to tell Claude that I want to build skills for Fabric API, and I have the API code available in this directory, and I also want you to read through the Jupyter examples available in there. And in the Jupyter examples, there are a bunch of examples, and some of the examples are stale, and I don't want it to read those. So that's why I'm pointing it to this specific notebook, Start Here, which has all the right examples we are publishing to the user. I wanted you to read all those examples and help me build skills for Fabric experiments. And it will think over it, and then it will create skills. Skills are nothing but a bunch of markdown files that live in Claude's environment. These markdown files have information about, very brief information about what they do, and then a detail about or all the steps that Claude would need to do in order to do those things. For example, if on Fabric you were to create a slice, it possibly could include an example of how you would create a slice. What is the example snippet code? It could grab from the Jupyter examples and put it in those markdown files, so it knows every single time that these are the set of instructions it has to use to create a slice on Fabric. The advantage of building skills is that it helps Claude. Claude is not learning every time in your session. It already has information about what you want to do, so it is using less token, and you are not having to retrain it every time you are doing this. So you are actually writing the instructions. So it may look like that it is as easy as just typing this. It isn't that. It will take a bunch of time to create all the skills. You can't just ship those skills out. Once the skills are created, they would be deployed as / commands, and you have to test those skills before you ship them out, like software, and verify that those skills work. Once they're done, they will start showing up. And once your skills are created, you can package them as a GitHub repository and push them out to GitHub repository, and have instructions in there how other people can install those skills from your GitHub. I'm going to leave an example GitHub repo link to the Fabric skills, wherein you can see how these are packaged, so they can be deployed in Claude. Skills are not like a one-time thing. It's like a living entity, just like your code is living entity. Every time you would build skills once, and then as your software evolves or as your system evolves, as you use these skills over time, they will have to be updated. Just like you would maintain your software, you would also be maintaining your skills. While we are waiting for the skills, I also want to point out, you can see that here Claude created sub-agents. So one of the agent is doing Fabric API examples, another is exploring networking examples, and another is doing different examples. So there is also a way you could launch sub-agents if you were working on a huge project and it involved a lot of things. So you can create sub-agents and assign tasks to each sub-agent. So for example, one of the agent could be a debugger, or one could be writing code for you, and another could be reviewing code for you. There is this slash command in here called agents. That is what you would use to launch sub-agents. So now you can see that Claude finished reading all the existing skills, and then it's now ready to code. It went into the plan mode and it's ready to code, and this is the plan it has presented me. It's a big plan. At this point, the key is for you to read this plan and see what it is suggesting is right or not. This is where your domain knowledge comes into picture. It is possible that some places it might have made mistakes, or it has referred a wrong example, so you might want to correct it, or something was incorrect in your specification documentation, and that's why it's picking up wrong stuff. So this is where human feedback comes into play, and we go ahead and correct it. What I do at this, for example, if you like this plan and everything matched your expectations, you would want to choose the first answer, wherein clear the context and auto accept the edits. Clearing the context clears the context. Claude has a huge context window. That is, context means it keeps information about what you have interacted with. It has a context window of like 1 million tokens, which can be huge. So if you think it is suggesting a good enough plan, you want to clear the context and accept its edits. That is what I'm planning to do here now. And once I do that, I would also ask it to save this plan. So sometimes if I want to go back and look at what it did, or specifically ask this, let's say in this case, fabric help skill, I want to specifically go and ask, can you change this skill, or this is what you suggested, I don't like it. So it always helps to save the plan. So while it is working, it'll start adding files, and that is what you can see, that it's creating this file on the right pane. And I will just, you can see now that Claude completed creating or updating all the skills as I requested, and it gave me a summary of everything. And since I asked it to save the plan has also been saved as a markdown file. And if you see, I can look for these skills here. You can use any of these skills to do the things you want to do as described in the prompt. And what I would do at this point is test these skills out, create experiments using these skills to verify that they work as expected. Once I've done enough validation, I would be ready to push them out to the Claude plugin marketplace, a GitHub repo I have created for Fabric Testbed. You can apply the same approach to your project, your domain. Thank you.